Hello, and welcome to Piano Player Pro, your favourite classical tunes arranged for piano. Today, we're going to be playing FÜR ELISE by Beethoven. The story goes that he dedicated this piano bagatelle to a girl that he'd hoped to marry called Teresa. However, she turned him down, and the piece was only discovered and then published after his death. But sadly, the original publisher misread Beethoven's terrible handwriting, and he thought that the dedication was to a girl called Elise rather than Teresa. So the name FÜR ELISE stuck forever. If you haven't already, then follow the link below and head over to the website pianoplayerpro.com, where you can find the sheet music which is free to download. And while you're there, make sure you check out what other pieces you can learn. I'm regularly adding new pieces and content, so if you find this video helpful, then please hit the subscribe button below. In total, there are 4 piano arrangements of FÜR ELISE for you to choose from, starting with level 1 and then getting progressively more difficult all the way up to level 4. This video is for the level 4 version, but feel free to take a look at the others. We're going to start by playing the piece all the way through once. You'll notice that the A section repeats twice. There's a first time bar and a second time bar, and then you play all the way through the B section, C section, D section, all the way to the end. So here we go with Beethoven's FÜR ELISE level 4. Okay. Okay, so that's the piece all the way through, and we're now going to look at it section by section. Starting with the A section, we'll do the right hand first, then the left hand. The right hand, obviously this very, very famous opening starts. I'm going to use 4 and 3 just because I find it much easier than 5 and 4. You've got to be, throughout the piece, quite careful counting the E, D sharp pattern. Here it repeats twice, and then the third time it changes. But that does get quite confusing, particularly later on when you get it over and over again. So to be aware of that, but it starts like this. Then your thumb moves down to the C, and you're going to stretch up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not too difficult for me because I've got quite large hands, but you might find that a bit of a stretch. You can change if you like. Go to your 5, but I do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the thumb comes up to the E. Okay, and then you come off. So that first line, or that first phrase, and then you've got the low E and then the high E. Here, again, because I've got quite large hands, I just go straight to the 4. I can stretch that quite easily, but you might want to go from the thumb to the 5 and then put the 3 there to help you with that. So you can experiment, see what works for you, but once you've done that part, this is the same, stretch down to the C, 1, 2, 3, 4, but here, instead of going up and finishing on the C, you go straight to the C from the E and then come down and land on the A. So here's the first version, here's the second version. So from the beginning you've got this, thumb coming down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, break low E, down again, 1, 2, 3, 4, then straight up, resting on A, then you repeat, and notice you've got the 2 notes at the end of the first time bar, and they effectively replace, I mean they're exactly the same, but they replace the 2 notes right at the beginning of the piece, so you play exactly as you did at the beginning, 1, 2, then moving on, and then this is all the same obviously for the repeat, rest, low A, high, sorry, low E, high E, then jump to the second time bar here. Okay, so we'll play more of the second time bar when we get to the B section, because really this is part of the B section, not the A section. But that's just so you know where we're going. So that's how the right hand works. The left hand is quite tricky actually. You've got a bar's rest to start with, so that's not too bad. And then you can do quite a lot of stretching. So you're playing these kind of, the rhythm is always 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, and 3 quavers off this. 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice those 3 quavers are taken by the right hand, so you get a continuous flow of quavers. 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. So that's how that fits together. In terms of the notes you play, you start on low A, and you move up to high A via the E. So that's not too bad. Then you've got low E, high E, or tenor E, it's not very high, and the G sharp. So the fingering positioning here is 5, thumb, and then going over to the G sharp like that. So there's the first one, rest, get your little finger down there, and then back to here. So you get used to just rocking between those 2 shapes. The first shape is a bit of a stretch, the second shape is the octave, and then the awkward kind of going over, and then back to the first shape again. And then, even though the right hand is different, it's got those 2 variants, both times it's the same with the left hand. And then that just repeats again. So putting them together, what you're trying to get is this kind of continuous effect of quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you start again. And you go around like that. So that's how the 2 hands fit together. When I played it through to you, I did use the pedal for this. It's a kind of flowing piece. So any flowing pieces like this really benefit from using the pedal. If you've got a piano, it's the right hand pedal that you should have, so you need to use that, called the sustain pedal. If you are playing on a digital piano, you've probably got the pedals as well. If not, you've got a keyboard or a digital piano that doesn't have built-in pedals, then you can usually get a pedal, and it really does help in this kind of piece. It's not essential, but it means that it flows much more nicely and much more easily. So in terms of using the pedal, you've got to be quite careful though. So if I just hold the pedal down and just play the first bar, it already sounds quite muddy because I'm playing these 2 notes, E and the D sharp, and what the sustain pedal does is it just holds those 2 notes on. If I was to play those 2 notes together, it sounds quite clashy, quite jarring, and you get the same effect if you play them with the pedal down. It's not quite as extreme because obviously they're not being played exactly at the same time, but that's why that mushiness comes from. So a good rule of thumb is that you tend to only use the pedal when the left hand is playing. So in the first bar, there's no left-hand part, so I'm not going to use any pedal. I'm just going to get the effect of the smoothness by playing really evenly with my right hand and making sure that the fingering is nice and secure. And then you play it with the left hand. So down here, and then like that. Now you've got to be careful even here. So once I start using the pedal, I can't just hold it down, because you still get this muddiness, because effectively I'm playing this chord at the same time as this chord at the same time as this chord. If I play them all at once, it just sounds a bit horrible. So what I need to do is clean the pedal in between each bar. So you play for the first bar, then you clean it for the second bar, and then you clean it again. And even that you've got to be careful with. So when you do pedaling, the temptation is to press down on the pedal as you're pressing down at the beginning of the bar. So it's down, down, down. But what that does is it leaves an awkward gap at the end of the bar. So you get this gap, which you don't want. So the technique you need to develop with the pedal, which is a bit counterintuitive, but with a bit of practice, you kind of become second nature. As you go down, first of all, with the first note, and then you're going to come up when you play the next note. So you come up, down, and up, down. So you go on the strong beat at the beginning of each bar. Rather than using it as an impulse to go down, you've got to use it as an impulse to go up and then quickly snap down. So it's down to start with, then up, down, then up, down. Clear it because there's nothing going on in the left hand. Then down, wait, up, down, wait, up, down. So if you do that, it should sound like this. I'll play it through twice using the first time and the second time bar. Nothing at the start, down. up, down, up, down, and then up again, and down, ready, up, down, first time bar, off, and then straight on, down, back round, up, down, off, ready to jump to the second time bar, and off we go, second time bar. Okay, so that's the A section all the way through. The B section is the kind of the variation or the kind of contrasting section. So you're going to move, you've just played this, your neck's going to start on the B, but you're going to use your thumb. Because you've got a rest, you don't need to worry about kind of going under and trying to make it smooth. You can kind of come off, off. But you get your thumb on there and you can go all the way, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those three notes, the B, the C and the D, they are part of the B section. Okay, they're not the end of the A section, they lead into the B section. So, okay, and then you get this nice pattern in the right hand. So the first four notes just up the scale, B, C, D, E, and then you get the shape. You reach down with the thumb, you stretch up to the fifth finger, and you go down, 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 and then that shape, you just repeat. Everything moves down one note, and then everything moves down one note again. So it's a really nice pattern. It's what's called a sequence. It's the same shape, the same rhythm, and you know, effectively you could just keep going down, down, down. So you can see how the pattern works, but you only do it 3 times. So you do it, you go up first, then the pattern, move your hand down, same thing again, move your hand down, and we're going to stop quite abruptly when we get to the C section. Okay, we're going to come off quite quickly there on that B. The left hand here gets a little bit more challenging, so you've got the shape you had at the beginning for A, C, A, E, A. You're going to keep that same hand shape, but you're starting on the C, so C, G, C. So that works there. And then you do the same thing, you go from G to G, coming over to the B. So in the same way that you did that on the E, E, G sharp, you're doing the same kind of idea with the G, G, B. Back to this that you can already do. And then here you've got E, E, E. And there's different ways you can do this. What you can't do is kind of stretch it all in one. So you can either go little finger, thumb, okay? Or maybe, or I think my favourite is definitely little finger, thumb, okay? And you'll see what happens in the C section. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's just put the B section together first and we'll look at the C section because it is a kind of odd little linking section, but quite fun. So this is the 3 notes leading in to bar 10, which is the beginning of the B section. So I'm going to have this hand here ready for this. And that starts with the E, and obviously the pedal comes down with the left hand. So no pedal at the start, and pedal down there, up. Okay, so that's how that fits together. Just watch that again. Okay, so when you get to the C section, you've got these repeated E's, and it's going to use the low E, this E, and then this E, high E in the left hand, but it also then takes that over with the right hand, and then goes up to high E, and then you see the left hand moves into the treble clef and takes over these 2 notes from the right hand, and then the right hand takes up the bottom note and goes to the top one, which is off the end of the keyboard. So that basically it's this kind of pattern, it's this effect. It looks quite nice when you can do it. So it starts with the left hand playing E, E, E. There's 5 E's in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different E's you're going to use. You start on the bottom one, jump up. Then your right hand takes over from the thumb, so thumb to thumb. Those 2 notes that your right hand has just played, your left hand is then going to play. And that frees up your right hand to take over from the thumb again like it did down here. And then hit that top E nice and strong. So that pattern should sound like this. Okay, a little fluff there, let's do that once more. You do need to be quite careful where you place those so it's nice and accurate, okay? So let's just try that once more, leading in from the bar before. Okay, And I'm not going to do that with the pedal. You could hold the pedal down. It's not going to clash because they're all the same note. But actually, I think you get more of a dramatic effect. You've had this very, very flowing part. Suddenly, you're kind of leaping up and down the piano. So it's quite nice if you've got the flowing effect with the pedal. Okay, and it makes it more dramatic without the pedal. I am going to hold the pedal for this bit, the 5 to the 5, so there's not an awkward pause. I'm just going to hold the pedal off, and then you get that nice effect there. Then, you're playing these two notes again. Now, if Beethoven had wanted to make our lives easy, he would have written it all in the treble clef, and you would just play it with the right hand. But he doesn't do that. He has the same two notes. Again, it's like the left hand and the right hand are fighting over them. So you do it once in the left hand, once in the right hand, left, and then the right takes over, and then you're back to where you started in the D section. So the D section is mostly the same as the A section. So let's just look at how we link into it. You might want to count those. You might want to think left, right, and then D. Quite careful so you can remember how many of those you've done. So let's go from C, we'll go straight on from C, so E, left hand, right hand, right hand, D, and then pedal back down there. This is all exactly the same. Right at the end there, you've got an extra couple of notes in the right hand, so instead of just, I put in the D and the C, just make it feel a bit more like the finish. So let's just go from bar 21, and you can be slowing down here, that helps it feel like the finish of the piece. So that's the whole piece all the way through, section by section. Let's play it once more from beginning to end. So starting up here, my left hand ready as well. Here we go. So that was the level 4 version of Beethoven's FÜR ELISE. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, then please hit the subscribe button below, as there's new pieces for you to learn coming out all the time. And remember, the music for all of them is free to download from the website pianoplayerpro.com. If you've got any questions or requests for future pieces, then do please get in touch via the comments section below. Have a great day then, and happy practicing.